Hi, I'm Phillip Brunton, creator of My Music PP, the online interactive music practice book. I'd like to share with you some strategies on practicing that I hope will contribute to the enjoyment of your music making. We practice to get better at doing something, whether it's in music, sport, or any other activity. In music, we aim for fluency, as if the music's flowing out of us and not being inhibited by any difficulties, so that we enjoy our playing. But that's not always easy to do. Learning to play a musical instrument can be a challenge, as it is a multitasking activity. So practicing is a way to automate many of these skills. As musicians, we can all benefit from effective practice, regardless of our age, experience, or talent. And research is now showing that our brain also benefits from this activity. Unfortunately, for many younger music students, practice is more associated with effort, work, wanting to get it over with, and arguments with parents. Not practicing enough is very often the reason why parents end up stopping lessons for their children. Too much attention is focused on how often or how long we should practice rather than just how we should practice. Would you be interested in knowing that there's a way of practicing less while achieving greater results? The secret is understanding how to practice. Let's simplify the science behind this. Our brain stores and processes information in its neurons. It's thought that we have over 100 billion active neurons in each of us. Each neuron grows branches like a tree, up to 20,000 of these branch like dendrites to receive messages from other neurons. Neurons send electrical chemical messages along an axon, a sort of neural pathway with each connection. Now it's staggering to think about the number of combinations that are connected with every action taken or thought we have. Now this is the key point. Axons, our neural pathways, are wrapped in what's called myelin, a sort of insulation that prevents energy loss. Putting it very simply, it's believed that repetition of a physical motion or thought increases the myelin, making their connecting neural pathways faster and more efficient. Simply put, repetition is the basis of faster and more efficient learning. Have you ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? But if you practice something with mistakes, it's not going to be perfect, is it? It'd be much more accurate to say practice makes permanent. What we repeat will become permanent, so be very careful of what you repeat. Ensure 100% accuracy from the start with each repetition. Students, do you feel you don't play as well in your lesson or performance compared to the last time you practiced the music at home? We're all told to keep practicing till you get it right, but what is really happening is that with each attempt, repeated errors become permanent, and having finally forced out a correct sequence of notes, you moved on thinking that you now know it. Think of it like a sports game. If the error scored 3 goals and your correct version scored once at the end of the game, who won the game? Most likely you'll make the same mistake the next time you play it. Instead of practicing till you get it right, it'd be much better to say get it right and keep repeating it right. I recommend practicing smaller units, choosing a bar or a phrase or section of the music. Break it down and build it back up. Focus on what's difficult. Smaller units allow us to concentrate our attention and achieve quicker results. You're far more likely to repeat a small passage of music 3 times correctly than the full piece of music without a mistake. Play it slowly with a steady pulse and correct technique to ensure 100% accuracy with each repetition. Gradually increase the speed to the required tempo as your skills become more automated. You will feel pleased having succeeded with this method rather than defeated at not being able to play the full piece. And it's interesting to note that effective practice of one section improves our ability to play the other sections because of the strengthening neural pathways we have created. Eventually, you'll build up these small units, playing the full piece with fluency and confidence. The break it down and build it up again approach can also work with rhythms, articulations, dynamics, scale practice, and learning new techniques. Be patient and attentive in your practice. Don't rush through those you're playing, gathering up a number of potential permanent errors. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." When you become more aware of how you're practicing, you will make quicker progress. And continuing on the effective repetition theme, the best time to practice is after the lesson or rehearsal, when the learning is fresh in your mind. And then repeat the next day to automate the skills even further. If you miss a day or two after that, you'll not forget the skills gained if you were learnt correctly. Try not to miss more than 2 days in a row when you're practicing, as this is also an example of repetition. The repetition of not practicing, and that leads to permanently not playing. To summarize, effective repetition makes learning faster and more efficient. Focus on smaller units, repeating with 100% accuracy. Break it down and build it up. Repeat all corrections at least 3 times. And finally, if you want to raise your standard, be willing to raise your effort level. Have a certainty, a clarity, a purpose of what you want to achieve, and know that you can achieve it with effective practice. Enjoy your music making, and others will enjoy listening to you. Music is a gift. Thank you.